Monster Hunter World's upcoming Iceborne expansion brings some big changes, but while cool new tools like the Clutch Claw have likely already caught your eye, there are tons of less flashy tweaks that will probably make seasoned hunters yell, "Yes, finally!" with the same level of enthusiasm. After playing through the first few hours of Iceborne, here are 9 of the most exciting quality of life improvements we've seen so far. Right out of the gate, when you go to get your login bonus, you'll notice 2 new buttons, one of which sends you to an in-game event schedule. It was empty in the work-in-progress build we were playing, but this probably means you won't have to check an external website to see what event quests are coming up anymore. Bringing things closer to your fingertips seems to be a trend of Iceborne, one the new town of Celiana's gathering hub leans into hard. Everything you would normally have to leave Astera's gathering hub to access is all contained within this one. The armory, the resource center, the Argosy, your harvest boxes, you name it, it's here, all without a loading screen to get to any of it. What's more, you'll be able to return here as usual after missions if you'd like. And honestly, why ever leave? Another nice tweak you can use in either hub is the addition of new radial menus specifically for when you're back at base. Separate from your mid-quest radials, you can now create ones made specially for things like gestures and stickers without having to worry about making space for items. And that isn't the only radial menu improvement. While you could always assign item crafting to a slot, it would previously only craft one of those items at a time. There's now an option to craft all of an item with a single press of a radial menu shortcut, which is sure to come in handy during long fights. The item box has gotten a long overdue buff, as you can now customize your bowguns from them. That saves you a trek all the way back to the armory just to make a single change. Similarly, Celiana has a place for your Palco to sit next to each box, so you can adjust their equipment without going into your room. And speaking of Palicos, in what is likely the most important change on this list, you can finally pet your Palico. A great wrong has been set right as the footbath in Celiana's gathering hub allows you to give them lots of love and scritches. Just look at that cute little fella playing in the water. Out of the sauna and into the slightly less relaxing fire of battle, an absolutely wonderful change is the ability to fire your slinger with any weapon drawn. You can simply fire away as usual without sheathing, similar to how the sword and shield already could. Doing so with ranged weapons and the insect glaive is a little bit clunkier since they share controls with the slinger, but it's still simple enough. It's a tiny change that makes a huge difference. Slingers got another quality of life improvement that's maybe not quite as monumental too. When you equip ammo from your pouch, you'll now see the icon for the other ammo you already had loaded behind it. A nice tweak for the forgetful among us, especially with the Clutch Claw's new emphasis on using slinger shots to knock around monsters. And finally, as previously announced, Iceborne's difficulty will now scale more smoothly with your party size. Where the health of a monster used to simply double in multiplayer regardless of if you had 2, 3, or 4 players in your party, Iceborne will scale better for parties of 2. Parties of 3 still get the short end of the stick, but it's a welcome change regardless. Excitingly, that change will actually be coming to Monster Hunter World whether you buy Iceborne or not. While the joys of Celiana's Gathering Hub are obviously limited to the expansion, here's hoping some of these other changes make it to the base game as well. We've asked Capcom if that's the case for everything on this list, and there are certainly more quality of life improvements we didn't mention here. Be sure to watch our new gameplay videos fighting 3 of Iceborne's subspecies. And for everything else Monster Hunter, stick with IGN.